Hello and a very warm welcome to all of those who are joining me live. I'm Neha. Well, as all of you know, the foreign ministers of India and China held talks on the sidelines of Shanghai Cooperation Organization meet in Moscow and agreed on 5-point consensus to ease the tensions at the border. Now, this comes amid simmering tensions at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. Do remember that there already have been several military and diplomatic level talks that have taken place between the two countries. Now, moving on to the latest development, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi held a discussion for close to 2 hours, reaching a 5-point consensus, according to which both the ministers have agreed, and I quote, both sides should take guidance from the series of consensus of the leaders on developing India-China relations, including not allowing differences to become disputes. The second point is the current situation in the border areas is not in the interest of either side, and therefore the border troops of both sides should continue their dialogue, quickly disengage and maintain proper distance and ease tensions. The third point is shall abide by all the existing agreements and protocols on China-India boundary affairs, maintain peace and tranquility in the border areas and avoid any action that could escalate matters. The fourth point being communications on both the sides will continue through the special representatives mechanism and meetings of the working mechanism for consultation and coordination on border. And the last point in fact was that as the situation eases, the two sides should expedite work to conclude new confidence building measures to maintain and enhance peace and tranquility in the border areas. Now, to give us some more insight to it, joining me live is Air Marshal B.K. Murli. Very good afternoon to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. First up, first things first, while the foreign ministers spoke to each other, the consensus points were differences should not become dispute. Will this meet end the months-long standoff and ensure peace along the line of actual control is the million-dollar question. What's your take on it?
Good afternoon, Neha. Actually, a lot was expected out of the meeting between the two foreign ministers on the sidelines of SAO at Moscow. What has come out really is totally disappointing. It's just a wishy-washy, in my opinion. In fact, the joint statement that was issued today morning, where they talk about the differences, not allowing the differences to become disputes, is extremely, wishy-washy. In fact, they have not defined what is the difference. If the Chinese side come and occupied Indian territory, and the Indian side, they protest against the Chinese aggression, does it mean that it is a difference in perception? It is because of this difference in perception that today we have ended up losing 650 square kilometers of the Indian territory to China since 1962. Why was this point not brought up by Mr. Jaishankar in the meeting? Secondly, they are talking about both the sides respecting the sensitivities and concerns of both the countries. If that was required now, after all this, after firing, after the Galwan incident, of the aggression on the south bank of the Bengal Lake, then where is the sensitivity? Where is the concern? In fact, whatever that has happened has been totally forgotten. And our External Affairs Minister has not even spoken to his Chinese counterpart regarding the withdrawal of the Chinese troops to the April 2020 position and maintaining status quo ante. Yeah, all these points, they're all wishy-washy, and more shocking and extremely unfortunate is the agreement between the both sides for continuation of talks of the special representatives. Neha, a little bit of history. So far, 22 such meetings have taken place between the special representatives on both sides. Our side is headed by Mr. Ajit Doval. Their side is headed by Mr. Wang Yi, who is a counselor and also the Foreign Affairs Minister. The last meeting was held in December 2019. Nothing has come out of these meetings. In fact, if we were to, conduct another meeting, 23rd meeting, what is the actually aim of this exercise? Now, secondly, the WMCC meetings, nothing has come out of the meeting. in the 5-point consensus, they are talking about actually maintaining the protocols and the agreements.
So
Five
if we
such
have to
protocols.
speak about these 5-point consensus, I'm sorry to interrupt, Marshall, do you really think that China will stick to these consensus, 5-point consensus to de-escalate the situation at the border, given the fact that they really cannot be trusted, and China must be irked since we have already obtained dominating heights at the ridgeline along the south of Pangong Lake?
Neha, once again, we need to understand the problem on the Chinese side before actually we really analyze the Chinese aggression on the south bank of Pangong Lake. The Indian side actually taking control of the ridge line and occupying most important heights, which gives them an access to the Chinese side in the Moldo area, as well as all the Spangor gap, and then the Rezongla and the Resinla. Now, it has come as a shock to them. In fact, they are not able to digest it. Now, the narrative that is going on in China is that the Chinese side is technologically and militarily extremely capable, and they are 4 times more stronger than the India. They are the world's largest force, and they can actually, defeat India in any aggression, in any military conflict, limited or longish. Now, they are not able to accept this, and that is the reason why all these problems are taking place. And it is a slap on their face when our Vikas regiment went and occupied the this important heights. Notwithstanding all that, the China actually they have made futile attempts 2-3 times, actually including firing in the air to dissuade the Indian forces from occupying those sites. But it was no avail. Now, the Chinese Communist Party is the one that controls the People's Liberation Army. So the decision to actually go aggressive at the south bank of Pangong Lake or where the Galwan is not taken by the local commanders. They are being directed by the Western Theatre Command, which takes orders directly from the China. All these points were not discussed by Mr. Jaishankar in this meeting. Now he is talking about respecting all the protocols and agreements. What happened to all the protocols since 1993? What happened to the Peace and Tranquility Agreement of 2005? What happened to all the WMCC accords of 2017? You see, in the past, many such protocols have been signed, which China describes as a piece of paper. So, knowing very well that what kind of a respect China shows to all the agreements, now are we in a position to really believe that everything has gone on hunky-dory at Moscow between the 2 foreign ministers, and now the issue will be resolved?
Right. So, Marshall, there's another very important point, and I would like to draw your attention towards special representatives dialogue should continue. So, for how long really should India continue to indulge in talks, and why is China, most importantly, so adamant to continue with the talks?
Yeah, China is absolutely hell-bent on continuing the talks. Neha, just because they want to, buy time, nothing else. In fact, this is known to both the sides. They actually, on one hand, profess talking. On the other hand, they go aggressive. They go, all out, on their aggression with sticks and machetes and then carbines against our troops. So this China's game plan is actually very straightforward, and everybody knows that. We have been seeing the China's game plan for last about 3 to 4 months continuously. Now, this talk is all hogwash. It is just an eyewash, and then we know very well nothing is going to come out of this talks. 5 such talks have taken place at the commander level, and innumerable talks at the brigade commander level, but it has yielded nothing. One day they come and sit at the negotiating table, talk to us, and the very next day they actually try to sneak in and then try to occupy the positions, our positions. They come far ahead in the, from the LAC. So the Chinese game plan is very, very clear. They want to buy time. Most importantly, they want to buy time now because the winter is fast approaching. Before the winter approaches, they want to get India onto the negotiating table and make us agree to all their conditions, and then say, all right, India, we have won the war. we have actually won we have made India, we have convinced India, the talks have yielded results, and then India has surrendered all the land. It is a pipe dream. They are living in a fool's paradise. Nothing like this is going to happen. And, in my perception is the talks are going to get you nowhere whatsoever. And then probably, you will find another aggression in a day or two from the Chinese side. Just like that, they have been doing all.
So, as I mentioned, that they really cannot be trusted. Right. Thank you very much, Marshall, for joining me with all of those important insights. Well, as I mentioned earlier as well, there have already been several military and diplomatic talks that have taken place between both the countries. And do remember, while the talks were on, Chinese did try to intrude into our territory while the talks were going on. Well, will this meeting really yield any positive results? That's something that remains to be seen. Thank you very much for joining me. And of course, if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe Newsline YouTube, like us on Newsline Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram. COVID-19 is very much there. The numbers are rising exponentially. Please take care of yourself as well as your family members. Stay safe.